At first, it was beautiful. It was staying up all night. It was finding things in common, and it was enjoying silence. It was finding our own songs, and it was crying of laughter. It was the feeling of being understood and welcomed and accepted, and it was just right. For a long time it was, and so it went on with the belief that every second spent with you was something worth treasuring, something worth keeping close, and something worth noticing. And in my head, I made it out to be so that in a reality without you, life was simply nothing worth having. And many times I kept this fear, trapped somewhere far away, but still near enough for me to feel it all the time. And as I grew older, it seemed to grow stronger, and it came to the point where I would wonder what I would do. What would I do if you were no longer there to greet me, no longer there to speak to me, no longer there to be the other half of me? So, my response was to hold on. My response was to make it so that you would never leave, or at least never leave before I did, and even though I knew that what I was doing could only make things worse, I kept going. I kept saying to myself, we will always be happy. And as usual, when we tell our remarkable mind something over and over and over again, it becomes a simple but deceiving truth that can do nothing but hurt us in the end. And that's exactly what it did the day you left. And so I cried. It wasn't supposed to be like this. It wasn't supposed to be like this. It wasn't supposed to be like this. We were supposed to always be happy. I was supposed to always be happy, and a life without you wasn't supposed to be a life at all. And so I cried. I cried at home. I cried while getting dressed. I cried at work. I cried in public transport, and I cried before going to sleep. And for a while, it was like time had stopped. It was just that it had stopped in a time where you no longer knew me, and I no longer had the knowledge on how to be someone you knew. And this went on for what seemed like a timeless forever, until one day you were just there. You said, "Hi." And we looked at each other, and you really no longer knew me, and that was that, and it was it, and it was hard to believe that this had once been a relationship. Then I moved. I moved my thoughts, I moved my heart, and I moved ahead. Until this all became a memory I'd recall every now and then when I would hear our song or smell your perfume on the coat of some stranger passing me in the streets. And I would think to myself that you'd be out there somewhere, just like me, moving along but still remembering all that we once had, noticing that every second spent with me was indeed something worth noticing, something worth treasuring, and maybe that's just a lie I'm telling myself to feel better, but as it came to be, in the end, it was still beautiful.